How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I scored in every inning to mercy rule this opponent. We also have a Battle Royale clue as well as some upcoming content in MLB The Show 21, so let's go ahead and get right into it. 2 days from now we are going to get a brand new flawless reward, and I think it could be a Reds player. We do have a clue to go off of with some quirks here, and I want to say that this is Johnny Bench. I know some people have predicted that this is Ken Griffey Jr., but the unbreakable quirk listed in the bottom right of this picture kind of gives that away a little bit. I don't think Griffey has ever had the unbreakable quirk in MLB The Show. He did have quite a few injuries over the course of his career, and on this MVP version he did not have the unbreakable quirk. So we'll take a look at Johnny Bench. And if you didn't know, the unbreakable quirk is given to players with 95 durability. So I guess if you paralleled Griffey up, he would have it. But this Johnny Bench has 98. This is the MVP version we got in last year's game. Both cards would make sense, though, because they were an inning program or a World Series reward in last year's game. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into a game of ranked seasons. We have Willie Mays starting this game off for us with one out in the top of the first, and he's ripping one into the gap. That's going to be hopefully extra bases. Testing Mickey Mantle out there in center field, and Willie Mays gets in there safely. That's going to bring up Lou Gehrig with 2 outs. And in the last game, I got a couple of 2-out rallies going. Here to start this game off, we hit a 2-run shot. That guy in scoring position helps that clutch attribute. Now, I'm pretty sure both Bob Gibson and Lou Gehrig have 125 pitching clutch and batting clutch, so that kind of cancels each other out. We are going to get some increased exit velocity with guys that have a higher clutch attribute in those types of situations, and now we're able to hit another home run here. We get the confidence on the pitcher down a little bit early on in the game, and that's really big because that's going to allow us to score some more runs. We're not going to strike out as much. We're going to put the ball in play. We don't necessarily have to have, precise, perfect timing. But this opponent can also hit a little bit. He goes deep with Mickey Mantle. Bottom of the second, he gets one right back. It is now a 3-1 game. We're facing Julio Rodriguez, and this opponent did have some lower batting averages with a few of these players. Maybe he hasn't used them as much as a few other guys, but I hung a couple of pitches there, missed with early feedback on that changeup, and that was an absolute moonshot to left field. We're going to respond with one of our own. Willie Mays going deep on an early slider. I felt like that opponent threw that pitch with early feedback as well, and that's how we were able to keep that one fair. But we're trying to settle in with Justin Verlander, already given up 2 home runs and 2 runs in this game. I took a mound visit after that, and I noticed that he started to settle down a little bit more. I was able to locate. So far throughout this game, this opponent has been pretty patient at the plate. He wasn't really swinging. Early in the count on the first couple of pitches, he was really being selective. So I'll have to keep that in mind. We'll have to attack the zone and then look to expand it maybe once we get ahead in the count. But that's a common strategy that a lot of people use. Anyway, another opportunity with the guy on second base. This opponent goes with a fastball up and inside on a 3-2 count, and Chipper Jones hits it out for a no-doubter. That's going to give us a 4-run lead. Big time right there. Big time hit. That allows us to pitch a little bit differently because we don't have to necessarily attack the zone like I just mentioned. We get more of a lead, and typically when that happens, the opponent will expand the zone for you because they're trying to respond with a couple of runs of their own. They also might be frustrated with kind of how the game is going, so you have to keep that in mind. But here we have a base knock with Pablo Sanchez up the middle on a curveball below the strike zone. Waited on that one long enough. We end up hitting a perfect on it. Now we're going with the hit and run. We have a guy with good speed on first base. Not the greatest steal attribute, but we're trying to put the ball in play. Lou Gehrig hits his second home run of the ball game, and that gives us a 6-run lead. I'm trying to keep it going. We have the confidence way down on Bob Gibson, probably completely down to where that meter is non-existent. He hangs that curveball, as you could see from that last pitch. I waited back on it too long, and we still hit it out for a home run. Next batter, Chipper Jones, he comes back with the curveball, trying to get the confidence back up on a few of those pitches, We did not get rewarded with Chipper Jones, but Adley Rutschman is picking it up. He's hitting his second home run of this ball game, and you can clearly tell based off of those last few breaking pitches that those are just hangers. They are not moving as much as they were earlier in the game, and it kind of started with that Pablo Sanchez base hit up the middle on that exact pitch. When you hit the same pitch over and over again, this game acts a lot like old versions of Slugfest. If you remember Slugfest, if you gave up, too many hits or too many runs off of one particular pitch, you would actually lose that pitch. And same type of thing happened in the bigs. That is kind of how this game works. If you lower the confidence down tremendously on one specific pitch, it's almost like they can't even use it without that pitch hanging or without that pitch getting absolutely crushed. It's very tough to locate a pitch with no confidence on that individual pitch. So I'm trying to include as much information as possible. We are able to score a run in every single inning, and now we have an extra run of insurance just in case this opponent hits another one out. We will still be able to get the mercy rule as long as we don't give up a couple of runs here. We have the top of the lineup that we're facing as well. I haven't really thrown the circle changeup on the outside part of the strike zone throughout this game. So I'm going to try and mix that up, try and throw the opponent off a little bit. You can see here that I started both of these batters in the bottom of the sixth off with a circle changeup on the outside corner. It wasn't really, located low in the zone or up in the zone. It was kind of, middle away. And that pitch can be very difficult to hit. This pitch was not a good spot. I thought he was going to hit that one out with Barry Larkin, but we are able to get the mercy rule. And that was a pretty solid game. Felt like the bats came alive there. We finally brought the bats to the ballpark and hit the ball. It's been a long time since I've gotten a mercy rule in MLB The Show. And that opponent was a pretty good player. He had about 60 games played. I think his win-loss record was like 45 or 48 and like 21 or something like that. So almost 60 or 70 games played. Not bad at all. Definitely a solid game there at the plate. Maybe he didn't pitch as well. Felt like he left a lot of pitches over the middle. Hung a lot of pitches. Did not use the mound visits to his advantage. Once Bob Gibson kind of gave up a few runs, consecutive innings, and really put up a 5 spot. That was a big-time inning there in the 5th. Back-to-back opponents that I've played recently have been in the wild card division, so maybe they're not used to Hall of Fame difficulty. I'm not exactly sure, but we are able to get one of these Season 4 Team Affinities completed, the NL West, and I believe that's the last one necessary to complete that division. Might have been able to finish that off with a home run from Willie Mays. I don't know exactly what the missions were or what exactly I completed to get this card. But let me know who you think is going to be included in the Battle Royale program. I guess that Johnny Bench card could be the 90-point program reward. It might not be the flawless. They didn't necessarily specify there, but that's kind of what I was thinking. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out.